What's up, guys? So today I just want to show you guys some Lightroom editing, how I work, and I have been actually the one who was a model today. What is cool, I like sometimes to step on the other side, mainly because I think it's good, it's healthy for a photographer and videographer just to check out how a model feels, and it's good to change things around, right? So let me just check. Let me just grab maybe two photos. Can't really see them. Just gonna uncheck all. So I'm just gonna show you also the basics. So this is how you import photos, and if you want to just see them in a bigger form, you click on there. And there. Oh shit! Look at that. Trying to be Calvin Klein model over here. So let's pick this one, and a little bit of a different one, maybe that one. Let's just try one with a different background. Maybe just that one. It looks like I pulled my pants down. It looks strange. I do like the lighting of this one with the background, actually. That's pretty cool. Maybe that one. Yeah, why not? Actually, I want a full body walking shot. Let's go for that. I know I have some, so. Here we are. That's pretty cool. I should do that one. Fuck it, let's just do that one. Always check the feed, which one is better. I think this one is better because my feed is higher. Yeah, cool. So we're gonna so these two photos we're gonna use, me as the model, and then let's see what I can do with these photos. Now the good thing with this is also that these both photos look different. So one is very nice lit up. It got a beautiful backlight actually coming through the door. As you can see, there's like some nice backlight coming in. And this one is a bit darker. Unfortunately, the framing is not very good. I would say you can see how at the top the framing is just, it doesn't look straight. So let's just start with this one. So what I would even do is just you go directly to let Lightroom do the work, because the reason why is, guys, we gotta admit that the machines are taking over, and they are, sometimes smarter than us and quicker than us. So just press auto and see what happens. You see, boom. That's it, man. So did you see now how in this photo I'm very much in the top of the frame? Unfortunately, I can't change it. We used an 85 on an APS-C camera, what means it becomes 135, I think. But yeah, so this is how you do, you start cutting it first, right? You can just press the auto, man. Don't make it too complicated. It balances out. And now if I want to change, let's say I want to crop it a little bit more, I press R on my keyboard, and there you go. Now for Instagram, where we want to post mainly on, it's 4:5. So if you want to post on Instagram, click this, you see, and there it will frame out. Now I'm not gonna do that today because I don't like the framing of the 4.5, and I'm gonna use this actually for something else. Oh, yes, believe it or not, a casting agency actually asked me if I can send some full body shots. So what I like to do is I like to put the subject on one of these two lines, and the reason why, there's various reasons why, but we probably hear from the golden rules. The golden, you have three different lines in a photo, and if you put the subject on there, then it's always good. And you see this line over here, it's not straight in the middle. I'm also not looking straight through the middle. Now if you present something through the camera, this is also in video, I would always put the subject in the middle. If this is not the case, put them on one of these side lines. Now I like this. Usually I would also say put it on a third, you know, but then the hand over here is cut off. So we're just gonna keep it like this. Maybe zoom a little bit out, like that, I would say. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Press enter, and there we are. So this is gonna be the first photo I'm gonna show you to edit. Now I have some presets made up, and I'm just gonna check how they apply. So I have one, let's say the outer one, that should be pretty decent. Now, when I apply them, they will be probably first very light, and probably they look a bit funny, but we're gonna change things around where eventually, hopefully, they become epic. So let's use this outer one. Now you see, this has a little bit of contrast and it also has a lot of highlights. So I'm just gonna drop them down, and automatically Lightroom shows you that how you have it in balance. So if the red is there, it means there's too much white, too much light in there, right? I drop that and I see, okay, he is just on the edge. I put it down there. A little bit of shadow to make it darker, not too much. I like the skin tones in here, and that's just pure because the camera did a great job, and it was a good light. Keep the whitening around 12. Maybe the black. I like to keep the black a little bit darker. Don't make it too bright, right? I'm actually gonna keep that on 0. So you see, like now already the picture starts to look epic. And again, the backlight over here lights my back up like I'm using a backlight, but it's actually the sunset. And we're gonna just go further. Oh, I got an email from Bonsai. There's got a lot of stuff open. Let me just delete that. Cool. So what do we have here? The clarity, the dehaze, the vibrance, and the saturation. I personally like to put the saturation a little bit down, and the reason why is because of the skin tones. If you don't have the skin tones correct, guys, then the photo will look weird. Always keep an eye on the skin tones. And as you see over here, my skin tones look pretty damn good. I should have done something with my hair though. My hair looks strange, but yeah. They look pretty damn good. And like, I'm just gonna show you, if I bump up the saturation, what happens. You see, boff. That's the first thing what you see in a picture. So I like to keep them a little bit down. Now I always use like a little bit of a frame mark of, 85 saturation, minus 15 is that from 0. And then keep the vibrance in there. That means it's just like the colors what pop, right? But it doesn't become like a saturation where you like it becomes like very extreme. So you drop down the saturation, you keep a little bit of vibrance in there to keep it cold. Clarity is up to you. I like to use it a little bit. Zoom out. Now the curves is a very big thing too. Always use the histogram up here. Okay, you gotta be careful that you're not popping them out. So don't let the blacks completely fade out, or like the whites. You can play with it. I mean, if you look over here, I like to keep it light, and I will show you guys why I'm doing this, but this is going to be at the end. I can't do it right now. Okay, so a curve, mainly people talk about an S curve, and the reason why is because the blacks will become more blacks and the whites will become more whites if you do that. So you get like this kind of photo. What looks pretty cool, but I don't like to do that because everybody's doing that. I like to be different. So as I see here at the histogram, there's still some blacks. Like I can play with the blacks, and I can also use the shadows for that, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use these over here and pop them a little bit down, just a little tiny tap. But I like to keep my skin tones a bit brighter. Actually, you see on the background what happens there, like the city, right? I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I like actually how the S curve was before. I like how it pops the skin tones out. So what I did here, as you see, I put the highlines a little bit down and even the shadows a bit up. So this is it, like +7 darks, +17, and the highlights down. Okay, now very important one, this is the HSL color. What I do over here is mainly looking at the picture, what colors are in the picture. Now the two colors that pop out the most for me is the greenery in the background. So what we could do, we can use this tool over here. It's epic that the Lightroom has that, and you can make this green darker or lighter, right? See, darker or lighter, up to you what you prefer. I like to keep it a little bit darker just because I want to be the light subject in Lightroom. And a very important thing is also that you always kind of have like over here an S-curve too. Don't let one stick out completely because then the colors will look strange. Now I also have a beautiful pants on there with stripes, and it's kind of, I think it's kind of bluish, but let's check what moves. Yeah, it's blue, you see. And what I can do also is move that, but what happens on the background, as you see, the whole image starts to change. Now we don't want to do that in an extreme form, but I like to make it maybe a little bit darker just to let these mountains pop out in the background. Cool. Now saturation, we know what that is. We can also play a little bit with that. Now as this preset, as you see it already, I played with it, and I did this because of the skin tones. This is for me, like, it looks good on, depends obviously with what kind of people you work, but with these with the skin tones what I have, it works good like this for me. But you can still change it a little bit around. I like to make it a little bit more blue maybe. Just because then the sky, you know, the sky comes out. Because otherwise it's too white on the background. But just a little bit, guys. Don't make it too crazy. Always be very subtle. Just check if it's still recording. Are we still in? Yeah, we're 11 minutes in. Cool. Alright. So what's next? So that's it, like, and you guys can play with it. I would say, like, you know, there is always, that's why the presets, mainly presets are made because people play with the colors. And when you have a color wheel, actually I want to show you guys that now. So when you have a color wheel, guys, let me check where it is. Where do we have the color wheels? I gotta think. Well, let me check. The color wheels in general, as we have them, we also know, I don't like right now know where I can pop them out because usually I don't even use them in this way. But let's say this is the color wheel, right? Over here. So what you have, like, and that's why is teal and orange is such a powerful color, because it's the opposite of teal is orange, and on the opposite of orange is teal, right? And that's why if you have a good preset, the person knows how to play around that the colors just look good with one another. Okay. Now, next step. You can play with this if you like. I wouldn't do too much with it because you already played with this one over here, the HSL. So this is an important one because every picture is different. It depends on how far you are from the screen, and yeah, you want to always use a different sharpening, radius, masking, whatsoever. Okay. So what I like to do is always look at the face, the eyes, but look that you can see also a little bit of depth in there. So I use the background there. Now, what you're gonna do, you press Alt, both, and then you're gonna move, and it becomes black and white. And you see at the picture, come a little bit closer maybe, how it changes. I don't want to make it too extreme, but a little bit it can pop to make it sharp. Cool. Next one, hold Alt. Don't make it too extreme, just a little bit. Details, same. Hold Alt, move it around, and always subtle. The masking is the best of all. This makes the image pop. So what I want to do, I want to stand out of the picture because I am the subject. And it doesn't matter if you use a can of Coke or a freaking lasagna or, you know, a beautiful model or a very ugly model. Use this to let the subject or the object pop out. I can go completely here or I can completely here, okay? So here's not too much depth of fields, or the aperture is not too high. So that's why you also have the background in the masking, but that's okay. Just leave it like that. You see the picture slowly comes alive. All right, next one. Now every camera has a different setting, and this is a lens correction. This is what Lightroom does, also automatic. Once again, we gotta trust the machines these days. They're pretty freaking powerful. They know what, they're smart. They're smart guys, right? But as you see, that doesn't happen too much. Only with this one, it becomes a bit lighter. It just enables the correction of the lens. What I used, I used the 85 Sony 1.8, a very nice lens, guys. Really, if you can get this one, the 1.4 would be even better, obviously. But the 85 is just it's great because it's such a good portrait lens. right? And I'm actually using it on a Sony a6500. As I said, it's an APS-C, so what means that it becomes like 130 or something, so I gotta have a lot of space to move around, but that's cool. All right, let's keep on going, because how long am I in? 15 minutes. I want to not make this video too long. Now, I use always a little bit blue in here, and that's just because it's my preference. I like the blue color a lot, and maybe it's also because I have blue eyes. I just want to make them pop, pop. But in general, right? Amount of grain, there is a little bit in, because then you have a little bit of the film look. Now, I want to, as I said at the beginning, I want to show you guys something very important, a very powerful technique where you can make your image even pop more. And this is the reason why I kept it pretty light. Okay, so you see here the arrow says clearly that the white is too much, the exposure, I have it on 0. I can even bump it a little bit up with if I want, but I'm just going to show you now a very powerful tool where we're going to have really drawn the subject to me as a model. Okay, so there we go. We're going to click on here. This is the radial filter. And I actually have this already also in the preset, so it's super easy for you guys. And so this is on -55, and the sharpness is on -74. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna draw in here, okay, just like that for now. Then I go down and I click on invert, and invert, this changed everything, guys, trust me. So what happens over here is that the red area is -55 exposure and -74. What means that I'm really gonna create also some field of depth, and I will be lighter than the background. Now press O on your keyboard, and that's where you can see what happens, right? Look at that picture, it really starts to look good now. Can even make it a bit darker if I want. See that background even more dark. If I maybe even think that it's like, because what I really want, I like that backlight though. I like the backlight what I'm having. So I'm even gonna make this circle just a little bit bigger, right? I don't want to have my face too dark, but what I want is just that the background is darker and the backlight shines in there. Look at that, guys. It looks pretty epic, right? Looks like I'm giving a little bit of a glow there. Even a little bit closer, it's okay. Maybe, you know what, I'm gonna use a little bit of less highlight on this side. Here we are. I like this. This is good. Let me make it a little bit closer. Because if I do this, then I also have that side, right? You can even bump up a little bit of the saturation if you like. This is like what happens. You see the background becoming colorful, so you can literally change the background, make it more colorful than the person. And the cool thing is with that these skin tones stay good, but then you still have this color in the background. What is epic. Alright guys, I really start to like this picture. I don't know what about you. I think actually that I'm kind of happy with this. I don't think I need to change too much. Well, I want to show you guys the last things, what is especially with portrait work, and that's just that you let the eyes pop a little bit more. If there's any pickles or any spots, you want to delete them. So I'm gonna zoom in. What you can do is Control plus on your keyboard, or Command plus on Apple, and we're just gonna, actually you can also hold the control and use the scrolling wheel on your mouse. Okay. Now you see the eyes, and I want to work with that. For the rest, my skin is pretty good. Yeah, I use kefir, guys. Kefir is a very healthy yogurt. Trust me, apparently it's super good for your skin too. I even know that girls, they dip themselves in that stuff. Yeah. All right, so let me show you how this works. So this is done. The circle's done. You take up the brush, and then I don't know with what Lightroom you're working, but what I have presets in there, and look, there's a lot of different ones. But what I want to do is, obviously I want to make these eyes pop a tiny little bit. Don't be too crazy with it, just take it easy, okay? Now you can make it smaller when you scroll, and what you're gonna do, like as you see, the exposure is pretty high. You already know this is gonna be too much probably, but let's just see what happens if I'm gonna Press O on your keyboard again if you like to make it red, and you can see that I'm working like this with the eyes. You can also zoom in more if you want, but I just want to show you guys quickly. And there we are. Look at that. Alright, so we're gonna press O again. And now this thing is in the way. If you don't want this, click here on show edit pins, and you can just say oh, never, and the pin goes. Actually, it looks maybe a bit fake. Let's zoom out, control minus, both. You see, because I'm so far, you're not really gonna see that my eyes are really popping. But just to be sure, I'm gonna drop down the exposure a little bit of my eyes and make that around 15. Highlights also a little bit less, maybe around 10. And that should do the job. Now let's do the clarity a little bit down. Cool. Nice. Let's just look one more time at my face. That's awesome. Actually, I maybe want to make my tattoo a little bit dark. I'm a little bit sweaty, but I don't have too many pickles. But okay, let's just show. If you have pickles, if you want to change that, you press this button, spot removal, and what you do, you just literally click on the spot, and Lightroom is doing the job for you. Isn't it epic? Look at that, man. All right, man. I think that's it. I think this is gonna be a new a BF, guys. It's gonna be a BF, a profile picture. Yay! What do you reckon? Can I send this out to that model agency? They wanted some shots how I look now. I shaved my hair. I had very long hair. Shaved it off, and they wanted to see how I look these days. And I've been doing a little bit more training, so my body changed, and I asked somebody to shoot for me. So yeah, and it happened. Actually, I have another photo where I can go quickly over with you guys, just to show you also what other presets I have. But I'm happy with this end result. Let me know also down below what you guys think of it. So there we go. This is the second one. Now, Lightroom sometimes is a bit slow, and it's just because I have so many presets and stuff in there. So we're just gonna check the other presets what I have. Unfortunately, I don't have a glass one. Oh, actually, I like this. I like how light it is. Trying to be James Bond over here, guys. Portrait out is just what I use like now. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm gonna use the glass indoor for now. Yeah, look, looks nice. Why not? All right, let's do that. So again, this is the preset, and it depends all on the weather and how everything is, like, you know, where you are and stuff like that. Oh, Lightroom just stopped. Oh. I thought I could go more up. So as you look at this picture, you can see that it's very bright. Now, I do like this. I like this kind of effect. The good thing is with creativity, you are creative, so you can choose whatever you like. If you think that certain things look good, then go for it, man. There's not a set of rules. It's bullshit if people say that. But as you see, there is some mountain in the background. So what we're gonna do the same kind of thing what we did before, because I like to be lit up. So there we are. So good thing is a full body. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep this pretty bright right now. And again, you can see at the end why am I doing this. Just play a little bit around. I want these glasses to be dark though, so I'm gonna drop down a little bit of these shadows. But the blues need to be blues. I don't want it to be black. They say, and this is also from the videography, that it depends on which camera you use, right? The better the camera, the further you go into the blacks and the further you go into the whites. That's where you actually pay for a camera. Now, to hack that a little bit, you can go into Lightroom and just bump it up. So you like to bump the whites maybe to +10 or +15 and the blacks to -15. So what you do, you stretch it out up here a little bit. It looks pretty good. I don't think I'm going to change too much about that. Okay, this is good. I like that too. You know, I mean, if I would really do this professional, I would go more into depth about it, but I just want to show you guys how these presets also look. You can always play with this, right? Like as you see, my shirt, I don't like it to become fake. Okay, I like it because you can see that it's bright a bit. So let's just keep this on like 25. The lights, this is often the skin tones also, which you see how bright you can make them. Don't let them go over the top. There we are. Darks. It's a little bit because it is. So this one is shot in the daylight. Now normally people recommend not to do that, just pure because the shadows are becoming very strong, and you don't want too strong shadows. It depends again, like what you want to use for a style, right? You're the creative, man. You choose. Don't let other people tell you, define you. Maybe you can let other people tell you what to do, but don't let them define you. Okay. All right, and then these colors. Just looking at the colors, there's blue, there's green, and again, like you can change the green. You see how dark this becomes. I like to keep this a little bit more lighter. I like light in this picture. Don't make it too over saturated. You see the greens are pretty high already. Just a little tiny tap. The blues, that's actually perfect for this picture. Now the shoes, they are brown. Let's see what we can do with that. I think it's the same in the skin tones, so I wouldn't do too much with it. But if you, yeah, you see it's orange, so what happens? Boom. I look like a Teletubby. Looks so weird. So I wouldn't do too much. Now if you really want to make the shoes more colorful, it's possible. And what you do is exactly the same what I did with the eyes. You just kind of paint them in with the brush and then you play around with this. So it's all possible. That's why how you can tune every picture. Like that's why it's so amazing, Lightroom, man. All right, and then we do the same with this again. I'm just gonna go quickly over you guys seeing this, how I think it looks good. This looks nice. I don't even watch here right now. I'm just gonna watch in this one to see closely. You know that I see some lines. It's a full body. They asked also for a full body shot from the model, from the casting agency, so that's why. There we are. Oh, noise reduction. I didn't talk about that one. So noise reduction is pretty important, especially if you shoot in darker settings, because you're gonna bump up your ISO, and when you bump up your ISO, you have more noise. Now in Lightroom, you can reduce that noise. This preset uses a reduction of 15. I would use this with like normal settings. If it's darker and you use more ISO, then bump it a little bit up. But don't go too crazy because otherwise it looks fake. It looks like you used a lot of plastic chirurgy. And yeah, you look like a Barbie doll. Remove that, enable that if you like. It becomes a little bit more light. I think it can be the new James Bond, guys. Should just send this to the new James Bond movie. That sounds pretty cocky, eh? Cool, auto. And then the last thing, as I showed you guys also before, I'm gonna put that exposure in there, just because that's why I made it also lighter. I will pop more out. It's minus 55 sharpness, put it down around 60. I draw this over here, both, press O. I see that it's over on me right now. When you press the invert, the outside will be. Now I want my whole body lit up because it's a full body shot. Okay, so you can see it. Now I use also feather, and it's just because it looks more realistic than like a line, and you see a proper line, because shadows are also not like straight lines. That looks pretty good. Let's see, press O again. We can play a little bit more around, see if we really make it out. Ooh, I actually like that. Actually, I like it, like a bit of a vignette in there. Yeah, why not, guys? Let's just leave that. Maybe a little bit less highlights. Yeah. I wouldn't go past the -1. I'm just gonna put it on 90. Oh, my battery's low. 1 second. I don't want to lose you guys. I don't want to lose you. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Because I have a microphone plugged in. A lot is going on. My computer is even breathing. like a goblin. Cool. Oh, I pressed something. Oh no, because it's -4. Okay, so maybe I would say don't go past the -1. Cool. See what happens there? I pop out again with this, and especially the bar over here. You want to have that dark. You don't want it too light. That looks pretty epic, guys. A little bit of black, Lightroom shows you, okay, this is too black. A little bit is no problem, man. Don't be too fussed about it. Cool, man. And that's it, guys. Now I'm gonna show you the end results. That's somebody who tries to be James Bond, #1, with a sweaty chest. Let's see if we can go, if Lightroom let us, to #2. I need to go out first. And that's #2. You can do it, Lightroom! I don't know why, but Lightroom has really issues with me showing the full pictures. There we are. And that's #2. Now guys, this is what I wanted to show you today. This is my presets. If you have interest in these presets, let me know. I'm gonna also soon put them on my website, but I just want to know if you guys have interest and if you like these presets, because I'm still fine-tuning some new ones and I want to get some feedback from you guys. Also, let me know what you think about these photos. You think it's possible to send them out? Alright guys, thank you for sitting all through. I hope you learned something from this Lightroom edit. If you want to have more of these kind of trainings, also please let me know and I will create them. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Bomba.